Good afternoon, viewers. Meet again with me, Aulia Sandi, on the news of the week, which will provide the house information about a number of information on various stations in Wonogiri during this week. The first news comes from Jatipurno sub-district, again in the Jatipurno market, where market visitors were not aware of the importance of health protocols. Visitors were still ignorant of not wearing masks and not keeping their distance.
The condition of traditional market in Wonogiri district, to be precise in the Wates market, Jatipurno sub-district, is still basic today. Many people around are doing buying and selling activities in this traditional market. The residents who visit the market who are in this place are still in violation of the health protocol regulation from the government. Many residents do not wear masks and do not keep their distance, jostle each other when buying groceries. Also in this traditional market, there are still crowds of residents who are queuing to buy food. And even a situation like this, it is left unchecked. It can endanger local residents. This market only opens at 6 a.m. and closes at 9 a.m. Even though market operating hours have been shortened, residents are still reckless. Because in a situation like this, it requires people to struggle fulfill family food needs in daily life. Diasinta SKANJA coverage reports.
The congregation of the Baitur Rahman Mosque, Slogoimo, who is usually busy with congregation, really not has to apply health protocols differently.
It has been almost 1 year since the COVID-19 pandemic has attacked Indonesia. This COVID-19 pandemic changing people living habits from the usual gatherings. Now it is strictly prohibited to gather a crowd. Teaching and learning activities which are carried out offline turned out online during the pandemic, and many more activities first terminated in an attempt to cut the spread of COVID-19 virus. This has a huge impact on our region in Indonesia, one of them in place of worship in Madu Village, Logoimo sub-district. Baitur Rahman Mosque, which is located in Madu Village, Logoimo sub-district, a place of worship which is usually crowded, is now deserted due to restriction on the congregation when visiting the mosque. Not only that, the congregation who perform worship at the mosque are also given a distance. At the Baitur Rahman Mosque have made restriction in accordance with the applicable health protocols, that is by giving a sign for the congregation to keep their distance, and also the congregation is required to wash their hands in a place that has been provided before entering the Baitur Rahman Mosque area. This is done with the aim of reducing the spread of COVID-19 and protecting each other between congregation in Madu Village, Logoimo sub-district. Ari Wahyudi, SKANJA coverage reports.
We turn to the damage road in Janggan village toward Mojopuro, which could endanger motorcyclists.
The condition of the road in the village of Janggan in the direction of Mojopuro is currently experiencing serious damage. Lack of government attention has resulted in the road being not repaired immediately. It has been years. There is no assistance from the government to repair the road. As a result, the road has not been repaired for a long time. The more damage incurred on the road. The damage to the road is caused due to many vehicles with large loads passing on the road area. One of them is truck carrying a large load, and vehicle others who often cross the road. Until now, the road has not been repaired, even though many residents have complained when passing the road in the village of Janggan, which leads to the village of Mojopuro. The damage is very severe, such as gravel scattered in the middle of the road can endanger the transportation driver passing. Not only the scattered gravel, but on the road there are also many holes inundated by rainwater. Citizens who cross the road are advised to be more careful in driving, especially when it rains, and also have to be clever to choose a route with no holes. The residents hope the government can immediately handle this for the smooth flow of transportation that crosses on the road. Rifan reports.
We turn to the next information about mass renovation in Sidoarjo Sub-District after the following commercial break. Welcome back on News of this week. In Sembukorp Village, Sidoarjo, there is a mass renovation that has been running since November 2020.
Mosque is a place where the place is used as a place or worship of Muslim. Mosque is also a holy place which must always be clean and tidy. Currently, in one area of Sidoarjo is renovating the mosque. Renovation of the Al Barokah Mosque, which is in the village of Klampisan, Sembukarap, Sidoarjo, started in November 2020 yesterday. Until now, residents are still renovating the mosque. The part of the mosque that was renovated is the outer part of the mosque. Before the renovation was carried out, the paint of the walls of the Al Barokah Mosque was peeling and cracked, and the condition of the window where the wood had started to rot. Therefore, Klampisan villagers take the initiative to carry out fundraising activities as much as possible to the community in the village of Klampisan Sempukurap Sidoarjo, which will be used to renovate the Al Barokah Mosque so that it becomes a better mosque and does not endanger TPQ children with reciting the Quran. The renovation of this mosque was carried out by the local community by working together, assisting the construction of the Al Barokah Mosque so that it was quickly completed. Kista SKANJA Conference report.
Not only in Sidoarjo Sub-District, mosque repair were also carried out in Sujo Village, Logoimo Sub-District.
Ashifa Mosque located in Sujo Hamlet, Sujo Village, Logoimo Sub-District, currently under renovation. Renovation of this mosque has been going on for 1 week. Mosque renovation done by a local resident. The renovation of this mosque was carried out with the aim that the congregation of the Ashifa Mosque was more comfortable when doing worship. The funds used to renovate the Ashifa Mosque obtained from the alms of the local community. A sense of belonging and a high spirit of cooperation, making the local community able to carry out this activity with enthusiasm in the midst of this coronavirus pandemic. Of course, the people who participated in this renovation activity still adhere to the health protocols from the government. Fatima Novika, SKANJA coverage reports.
The next come from Jatisrono Sub-District, precisely at Mbah Somo House, carry out the destruction of poisonous beehives.
In Rejosari village RT3 RW1 Jatisrono Sub-District, to be precise at the house of Mbah Somo, being exterminated the poison wolf's nest, or in Japanese terms the poison wolf's scaled head wasp. This wasp poison, if it hits humans, is very dangerous, especially if not treated immediately. The pain caused by the poison wasps can cause a dizzy effect. This destruction will be carried out on Saturday, January 13, 2021. Destruction of wasp nest is carried out at 5 p.m. until finished. This poisonous wasp's nest is in the residence of Mbah Somo's house, with a very large size. Mbah Somo asked for help from the Wonogiri Fire Department to destroy the wasp's nest because of its large size and not possible if it was destroyed by itself because it was dangerous. When firefighters arrive, local residents as well as residents of the house are directed not to get closer to the wasp's nest. Firefighters burn the poisonous wasp's nest so as not to endanger the local community, especially the house owner. After firefighters burn the wasp's nest, they also pour water on the wasp's nest that was burned earlier, so that the fire does not spread into the house. The wasp's nest is thought to have been in Mbah Somo's house for a long time, but Mbah Somo himself does not dare to destroy it himself, because the size is too big. Egin Silviana, SKANJA TV reporting.
Turning to the next news, viewers, in Jatipurno Sub-District, there is a furniture entrepreneur who has been running for 7 years.
In Jatipurno Sub-District, there is a furniture entrepreneur who has worked for about 7 years. He opened this furniture business because he used to work as a construction worker. Finished, he has more experience to set up his own business. Apart from him, there are also employees who work there, as many as 3 employees. The raw materials used to make furniture here mostly use teak wood, but also many use mahogany, acacia, etc. according to customer order. To attract individual customer, entrepreneur takes advantage of the question of price. Of course, the price is very influential in buying and selling competition. The initial capital of their entrepreneur ranges from 30 million rupees and only takes a little profit. So the price don't jump too much and attracts a lot of customers around. Well, the profit in question ranges from 5 million to 6 million per month. All of that depends on the order that comes. If the order is small, then the profit decreases, and if the order is large, the profit is even more. When this entrepreneur gets a message for a cupboard workers, is able to make 1 cupboard in 1 week until the finishing process. There are a lot of rivals between furniture entrepreneurs themselves, and of course there are a lot of them, and her prioritizes the quality of the workmanship of the furniture. The results are neat and smooth. Of course, will attract customers who come and make customers feel satisfied after ordering furniture at this entrepreneur. Frigita reports.
We turn to the next information after the following commercial break. Chili is thus spicy. There are many people like and not a few people who like to grow chilies, such as Mrs. Tuminum, who has her own garden with an area of 30 by 40 centimeter, which is used to grow chilies for daily needs.
Chili is one of the vegetable commodity which is widely cultivated by farmers in Indonesia because it has a high selling price and has several health benefits, one of which is capsaicin substance, which functions in controlling cancer. In addition, the vitamin C content is high enough in chili, can meet the daily needs of everyone, but must be consumed in moderation to avoid stomach pain. Chili is included in the eggplant tribe, which is easily grown in the lowlands or in the highlands. Chili plants suitable to be planted in soil rich in humuslessness and not flooded. The ideal soil pH is around 5 until 6. The good planting time for dry land is at the end of the rainy season, which is around March until April. To get high chili price can also be done in October and harvest in December, but it can cause risk failure. The chili plants are propagated toxic grown from healthy plant and free from pests and disease. Chilies that have been selected for seed dry in the sun. If the health is sufficient, in 5 days and it is dry, new scent can be taken. In the Widoro area, Sidoarjo district, Wonogiri district, there is a chili plantation owned by a farmer named Tukinum. This Tukinum mother's farm has an area of approximately 30 meters 40 meters. Mrs. Tukinum started planting chilies since October 2020 with the intent and purpose to ease the daily expense of species. Also to incur daily income by selling the chilies to the market. Mrs. Tukinum. Kista report.
In the Slogoima market, the price of goats has decreased dramatically because there are not too many visitors to the Slogoima market.
In the Slogoima market, the price of goat in the market is currently experiencing a drastic decline due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Traders admit that lately the market atmosphere is quiet and there are not too many visitors. The reduced number of visitors to this market is due to the increasing number of COVID-19 in Wonogiri, so that the public is alert to the crowd. Therefore, the people who go to the market begin to decrease. During the COVID-19 pandemic and remembering the rainy season, God also caught a cold and their eyes turned red. This caused the quality of the God to decline so that the public attraction to buy decreased. This caused the quality of the God to decline so that the public's attraction to buy decreases. The God seller is currently experiencing a loss, and the seller are reducing the selling price of the God to increase their sales back to normal. Ari Wahyudi reports.
Anyone already know about the history of the city of Jatisrono? For viewers who don't know, the following news is for you.
In 1828, founded Candi Mas Pasiraman in Jatisrono. The temple was founded by Pangeran Sambernyawa during the Dutch colonial period. It was at the time the Pangeran Sambernyawa folk gathered troops in the Wonogiri regions to the east up to Jatisarono. Pangeran Sambernyawa is seated on the throne of the Kraton Surakarta Kasunanan as Raden Mas Said. After he becomes king in the Surakarta Kasunanan, Raden Mas Said established posts for his post. He went to the eastern region, namely Wonogiri, then stopped at Krisak, and built a place to store weapons at the time such as keris, spear, swords, arrow, and so on. And there are still many stops for him in the Krisak area and Wonogiri. Then to the east of Wonogiri, namely in Jatisarono. At the time Jatisarono the temple was built, it is still in the territory of the land of Solo Surakarta, which is still under colonial occupation, but Raden Mas Said had fighting spirit against colonial. Pangeran Sambernyawa fought with guerrillas by inviting his soldiers, then ran to the Jatisarano area, the temple environment which is now in the middle of the city. A true mud witness, the work of the Indonesian nation that was done by the people with an extraordinary design, so that a temple that stands firmly in the middle of the city of Jatisarana is created. On the stupa written Haryo Utomo, which the year of manufacture in 1820. In the making of the temple, he was supervised by Dawang Dawang, who was an expert in hill file. Its brief history, Candi Mas Pasiraman was founded at the time Jatisarano was born, which is now called the city of Jatisarano, with the K interpreted namely Master Ambakiri Tanggulangin. Amanda report.
Watu Jadah Waterfall, which is located in Jatipurno Sub-District, Kranjang Village, Girimulyo, Jatipurno Sub-District, has a really beautiful view. It can make viewers' mind refresh again.
Binangun Watu Jadah Waterfall, a waterfall located on the slope of the South Lawu Mountains. There are two waterfalls in the area. One of them is a tall waterfall which is called Watu Jadah. Currently, there are still many people who do not know the extent of this waterfall. Even the local people still don't know it. The name of this Watu Jadah waterfall is formed from rock formation around the waterfall, which is in the form of square stone slab and overlaps like jadah or food made from sticky rice. Uniquely, this waterfall has a height of about 40 meters with 3 streams of water. Beside Watu Jadah waterfall, not far from this location, there are also other waterfalls with the name Sendang Pelangi Waterfall. This waterfall has a height of about 20 meters with colorful rock balls like a rainbow. To get to the location, take about an hour on foot. On the way to the waterfall, Tourists can enjoy the expanse of rice field flying up on the slope of the mountains and accompanied by the sound of the river water which accompanied the trip. The expanse of rice field is adjacent to the burial area. To get to the waterfall, tourists having to pass through a small river, shady trees, a road that is still narrow on step on the river bank is a challenge for visitors. At the first waterfall, there are three puddles that are not too deep, so they can be used for bathing. On the way through the Watu Jadah tributary, a small pebble mistake is presented along the shadow, cool and clear river. If the trip has taken about 40 minutes, then the first waterfall will appear. This waterfall is called Binangun Waterfall. With a height of 10 meters and 25 meters, there are three shallow water puddles where tourists can soak while feeling the pressure of the water flow. Big rocks along with grove of trees become a scan itself. If tourists want to go down the Watu Jadah waterfall, have to walk again, it will take about 20 minutes. At first glance, this waterfall looks like any other waterfall. However, if you look carefully, you will find the uniqueness of this Watu Jadah waterfall. The uniqueness of the waterfall Watu Jadah in the form of staggered stone slab with a slope of 65 or 90 degrees, which is linked to a Jadah. Dia Sinta, SKANJA Conference reporting.
This information, as well as the closing of our meeting in the news this week, I am Aulia Sandi, and the crew on Jati have resigned. Goodbye.